Yeah, so, I mean, first of all, the fact that there is a racial wealth gap is sort of astonishing in 2021. I mean, it's not, astonishing is the wrong word. It shouldn't be acceptable.
I mean, believe it or not, we have grown up in a very segregated South. And even though we say it's not, since the 60s, it has been. And so there hasn't been as much opportunity as there should be.
I think the other thing is in America, there's still a lot of, racial challenges around getting funding. I mean, getting a loan, right? Figuring out who to talk to, and do you have a banking relationship, and do you have $1 million in a savings before I loan you $100,000? Like, that's just very real. The reality is you need to be able to understand this black wealth gap is it's a detriment to our country. And so entrepreneurship, I think, is the easiest way to affect that.
The Atlanta Wealth Building Initiative is a nonprofit intermediary organization focused on closing the racial wealth gap. We do so by leveraging national and international best practices, bold ideas, thought leadership, and strategic capital to increase shared prosperity in Atlanta. Our strategies are grounded in community wealth building strategies.
So for us, it's around getting dollars into the hands who need it, but it's also around challenging the current systems that have created barriers for entry.
Atlanta Wealth Building Initiative, it's really has been there for us to build institutions that will provide generational wealth for our community. The type of wealth that we haven't seen en masse in so long.
And we're also looking at grants. How do we use this flexible capital around philanthropy and individual giving to really help accelerate ways that we can really do economic inclusion differently?
I believe AWBI's role is connector. Some of our largest funders have come from our relationships with the community practice, so we're extremely grateful.
What I see that AWBI appears to be doing is building a entrepreneurial ecosystem that will help accelerate the growth of jobs.
It's the inclusivity of how it's always about collaboration and partnering and including new partners who come into the fold. That's to me what makes AWBI different.
Whether it's Gains to the Growers, whether it's the Connect, and whether it's partnerships like the Village Micro Fund, we are looking at new and different ways to activate capital that will reduce all barriers to entry for individuals and families who are trying to grow and help close this racial wealth gap.
Black entrepreneurs of color, it's not standard still, and it needs to be standard. And I believe organizations like Prosper and AWBI are working to try to make it standard and balance the playing field so that everyone in America has an opportunity to truly have access to the American dream.